These homes look great, don't they? And they'll keep looking good for decades without painting or other high-cost maintenance. That's the beauty of using CertainTeed siding. CertainTeed offers the broadest range of color and design options to create the look of true wood craftsmanship. But you get a lot more than good looks. You get performance second to none. CertainTeed siding, it's the most trusted name in the industry.
Being here makes me smile a lot.
It's one place I don't have to worry about fitting in.
I learned how and why to make a difference.
Forum Christian Church, connecting, growing, living.
Closed captioning provided by Rockbridge Preschool and BringYourChildToWork.com, bringing parents and children together.
Finally got some information back on the sewer system, and some of our options were to go with a septic tank with a lateral septic tank. Another option was to have a lagoon with a septic tank in front of the lagoon, and we just got some bids back recently on some of that, and we haven't had a chance to make any final decisions on what we want to do with that yet, but obviously that's going to be a big decision, going to run into a little bit more cost than what we had originally anticipated.
In the case of John and Toby's home, they didn't have the option of tapping into a local city sewer system. So in this case, we had to come up with different options for wastewater treatment. One of our options was a lateral septic system. A lateral septic system is when wastewater comes through from the home and is discharged, it goes into a septic tank. That's a holding tank for the effluent. Once that effluent is broken down to a certain point, it is then pumped out into a non-perforated piping system. Once the wastewater reaches this section of the lateral system, it'll dissipate the water into these perforated pipings, which are called laterals. Nature can actually filter the wastewater as it comes out. It's totally safe for nearby waterways and also drinking water systems.
So on the sewer system, we finally come to our resolution on that. It's going to be a septic tank with a pump on it that's going to a lagoon. This is what's going to work in our budget. The whole point of the septic tank is going to be to allow us to have as small of a lagoon as possible, which means we can hide it better and is less of an eyesore.
Our two main options for a septic tank in front of our lagoon is a concrete septic tank and then also a polymer. The great thing to a concrete tank is you can drive over those with a light vehicle. You don't have to worry about the placement as much. The downside to a concrete tank is the expense. Another viable option, which we're probably going to use in this case, is a polymer, a plastic septic tank. The downside to them is you can't drive over them with a light vehicle, but it does help us fit within our budget constraints. We're day 112 here at the project for John and Toby's custom home. As you can tell, the weather's hit us again. It is extremely cold. It's 12 degrees out here. We have the basement walls all framed up. As you can see, we have the I-beams all set in place. We've got a couple different I-beams set up. Those are in place. And we're going to be working on some things up on the upstairs side, such as the floor trusses, getting the floor set up, also doing some backfilling. So why don't you come take a look at what we're doing upstairs. We're up here on the top level, as you guys can tell. Had to put the hood up. It is freezing cold. It's 12, but I'd say the wind chill factor is probably minus 12. What we're doing up top here is we're getting ready to lay our floor trusses out so that way we can get the deck board on. And the tractor work over here that's going on, he's backfilling the garage with waste rock. And then we have another guy over there who's packing that down. So that way, when we get our concrete poured for the garage, there's no settlement there. It's all packed real nice and tight. Concrete floor will be poured, it'll be perfect. So that's what we're working here on the top side. I better go give those guys a hand. Right now, Corey, what he's doing, he's putting his rim joist up there. It can be called a rim joist, fan board, and what that is a 2x10 that gets nailed all the way around the sill plate. The sill plate is the green board that's laying flat, that's bolted to the concrete walls. Then what he's gonna do is space his floor trusses, or floor rafters, if you will, the 2x10s every 16-inch centers from there. Then our 3/4 inch ton and groove wafer board will be nailed down to those. Helps tie everything together, keep everything square, and get it to where we can start framing the top side and get it under roof. And that's what we told her too, is that this is temporary, because when they go to finish this out, they may actually eliminate this.
And put some handrails. That's what I was thinking.
Put some handrails,
that's what I told him. I was like,
open
I don't
it
know why they don't
up.
Put some handrails on there. Look a lot better.
Well, they're strictly using this door to cut off their heating and air conditioning bill from this downstairs until they finish it. And once they finish it, then they'll remove this wall or do some sort of different thing here and open this up a lot better.
Okay.